Hello students, good morning everyone. Today we will discuss chapter number 5 applications of sensors and transducer. So in that today we will discuss electrical temperature measurement. We are going to start this one. So in the last video or in the last class we have seen that pressure measurement. So in that what is the meaning of pressure? What are the units of pressure? And also detailed classifications of pressure measurement. So in that pressure measurement classifications, so first classification is the burden tube. That is, we have discussed the C-type burden tube in construction, working, and application also. Diaphragm. Second one is the, and third one is the bellows. So today's class we will discuss the electrical temperature measurement. So what is that electrical temperature instrument or measurement? So we're going to use the electrical transducers, which converts temperature into electrical signals. Example, you can take resistance in case of RTD, resistance in case of the RTD, thermistor and voltage in case of thermocouple, resistance in case of RTD, resistance temperature detector, and thermistor and voltage in case of thermocouple is most commonly used instrument in industry. Material used in these instruments fall in two cases, that is conductors, you can say, or metals, and second one is the semiconductors. Almost all the metals used as a thermometers are PTC type, that is the positive temperature coefficient, that their resistance increases as temperature increases. So that is the fundamental you are going to use for what? That PTC, positive temperature coefficient. So as my temperature changes, resistance also changes. The semiconductors maybe are PTC or NTC type. That may be both the types. It may be NTC or PTC, positive temperature coefficient and negative temperature coefficient. So next we will discuss the electrical temperature instrument. In that, classified into three types: resistance thermometer, thermistor, thermocouple. Okay, so resistance thermometer, thermistor, thermocouple. So first we will discuss the resistance thermometer, PT100, or resistance temperature detector. So first one, operating principle: a pure metallic element or a wire, with large positive temperature coefficient changes its resistance with change in temperature. The element is used as a resistance thermometer. So in resistance thermometer you are going to use one pure metallic element or a wire. As my change in the resistance, temperature also changes. So that is the PTC, positive temperature coefficient. So in short, you can say in operating principle you are going to use one metallic element or a wire. With respect to this one, you can use the PTC, positive temperature coefficient. So next we'll move on to the, as you observe in the diagram, or you can see in the diagram, industrial platinum resistance thermometer. So by using this one, we will discuss the construction, and also we will move on to the working by using this resistance thermometer connected in bridge circuit. By using bridge circuit, you can discuss the working, and by using this diagram, we will discuss the construction part. Okay, so first, in construction and working, figure shows construction of platinum resistance thermometer. So in which platinum material is used as a sensing element. So whatever you are going to observe in the diagram, sensing element. So you are going to use a material, that material name is called as platinum material. It is generally long spring-like shape. Spring-like shape, enclosed in a metal set. As you seen in the diagram, or as you observed in the diagram, metal set. It is inserted in a medium whose temperature is to be measured. Leads are provided and drawn out for connectivity to the bridge circuit. whatever you are going to use that connectivity leads, what is the function of that one? You have to measure the temperature. You have to measure the temperature by using that connected to the bridge circuit. To measure the resistance, mounting threads are provided to perfect installation of the thermometer. So you have to install the thermometer, so that purpose you have to use for what? Mounting threads. Okay. So next we will discuss the working part. Figure shows the thermometer connected in bridge circuit. So whatever that thermometer is there, you have to connect directly to the bridge circuit. Okay. The output of that thermometer is connected to the bridge circuit. The resistance thermometer act as a one arm of the Wheatstone's bridge. Second point, the bridge consists of a sensing element, resistance RT and R1. Resistance RT and R1, R2 and R3 are other resistance connected as a arms of bridge. You can observe in the diagram RT, R1, R2, R3. Other resistance connected as a arms of the bridge. R4 and R5 resistance of the leads connected to the sensing element. R4 and R5. So leads are connected to the sensing element. Okay. So you have to take the conditions. At balance condition, ratio of the resistance is given by R2 by R3 is equal to the R1 divided by R4 plus RT plus R5. So this is the balance condition you are going to take. R2 by R3 is equal to the R1 divided by R4 plus RT plus R5. Okay. So this condition you are going to take. So due to change in temperature, resistance RT changes. So basic fundamental is what? You have to change the temperature, resistance RT also changes and bridge becomes unbalanced. So in balance condition means what? Balance means what? It should be 0. You are not having any there variation. So that is the initial condition for what? Balance. Okay. So bridge becomes unbalanced and the galvanometer shows deflection. When the bridge becomes balanced, due to change in the temperature, resistance RT also changes. So that purpose you can say that the bridge becomes unbalanced. Means what? In your instrument, so it will show some deflection, means variation. This galvanometer shows deflection which can be calibrated to give suitable temperature scale. So general resistance temperature relationship of the resistance thermometer is given by RT is equal to, we are going to use one formula, RT is equal to R0 in the bracket 1 plus alpha delta T, bracket complete. So this is the formula you are going to use, general formula. You have to measure the resistance temperature relationship of the resistance thermometer, where R0 is the resistance at 0 degree Celsius, RT is the resistance of the thermometer at T degree Celsius, alpha is the temperature coefficient of the material, delta T, difference between operating and reference temperature relative to 0 degree Celsius. Last point in that working, if change in temperature from T1 to T2 is considered in above equation is written as R2 is equal to R1 plus R0 alpha into T2 minus T1. In delta you are going to change. Delta means what? Change the temperature. So that's why you can write, replacing that delta T, you can write T2 minus T1. Okay. So next we will discuss applications of the RTD. It is used in air conditioning. It is used in textile production industries. It is used in plastic processing industries. It is used in petrochemical processing industries. So these are some major applications which are related to RTD. Okay, so next we are going to discuss what are the materials you are going to use for RTD or resistance thermometer. So these are some materials which you are going to use for what? These thermometers. First one, It is again divided into four parts: metal, resistance, temperature coefficient, temperature range in 0 degree Celsius, melting point of 0 degree Celsius. What are that materials? Platinum, copper, nickel, tungstens. In platinum, we are going to use temperature coefficient 0.39, copper 0.39, nickel 0.62, tungsten 0.45. You can observe the temperature range in terms of 0 degree Celsius and melting point in terms of 0 degree Celsius. So these are the materials for what? RTD or resistance thermometer. It is also very important for what? 2 marks we are going to discuss, or in the exam they will ask for what? Some questions related to what? Materials. Okay. So next, PT100. What do you mean by PT100? It is commonly used resistance thermometer, where PT stands for platinum materials, which is used as sensing element, and 100 stands for resistance in ohm of platinum at 0 degree Celsius. It is a commonly used resistance thermometer where PT stands for platinum material, which is used as a sensing element, and 100 stands for resistance in ohm of platinum at 0 degree Celsius. So what is the operating range? 270 degree Celsius to 2800 degree Celsius. So next, advantages of PT100: small in size, fast response, high accuracy, long lifespan, accurate measurement, good reproducibility, no compensation circuit is required. Next, disadvantages: high cost, large size. Third one, required power supply and bridge circuit. Next, application used to measure the radiation heat. It is used over wide range. Second one is the it is used over wide range, used to measure the radiation heat. Radiant heat, sorry. It is used over wide range. Okay. So next we will move on to the thermistor. So what is the thermistor? Again, thermistors are nothing but thermal resistors. Thermistors are nothing but a thermal resistors. You have taken the two combination here, thermal plus resistor. So that's why it is called as a thermistor, which are generally temperature sensitive semiconductors. These are variable resistors whose resistance varies as temperature varies. First of all, this thermistor is a variable resistor whose resistance varies as temperature varies. These are available in variety of shapes and size. The resistance of the thermistor ranges from 0.5 ohm to 0.75 mega ohm. So based on operating principle, thermistors are classified as two types. First one is the NTC, second one is the PTC. So what is that NTC and PTC? Negative temperature coefficient and positive temperature coefficient. So we will discuss in a detailed way with respect to graph. The resistance of the thermistors decreases with increase in temperature. So that is, as temperature increases, resistance of the NTC thermistor decreases. The resistance of this type thermistor decreases with increase in temperature. So whenever you are going to increase your temperature, thermistor decreases. The relation between this resistance and temperature is given by R is inversely proportional to 1 by T. So you can observe the graph. In x-axis you can measure the temperature in degree Celsius, and in y-axis you can measure the resistance in ohm. Next we'll move on to the positive temperature coefficient. It is the totally opposite of that NTC, positive temperature coefficient. The resistance of this type thermistor increases with increase in temperature. That is, temperature increases, resistance of the thermistor also increases. The relation between resistance and temperature is given by R is directly proportional to T. So in x-axis temperature and in y-axis resistance. Means what? Increases in the temperature, resistance also increases. Okay. So next we will discuss, based on size and shape, thermistors are classified as 5 types. First one is the disc type, second one is the bead type, third one is the rod type, fourth one is the probe type, and last one is the washer type. So first we will discuss operating principle. Some of the semiconductor materials exhibits the property that their resistance change as there change in temperature surrounding to that semiconductor material. Means their resistance changes, their change in temperature by using some semiconductor materials. So these are the diagrams which are related to shape and size. First, bead, probe, disc, rod and washer type. Okay, so first one we will discuss the construction and working of this thermistor based on size and shape. Thermistors are composed mixture of semiconductor metal oxides such as nickel, cobalt, iron, manganese, copper and iron and uranium. These are the metals you are going to use for what? Semiconductor metal oxides. Figure shows different types of thermistors. According to the shape as shown, thermistors are bead, probe, rod, disc and washer type. Thermistors have leads for connectivity with circuits. So all thermistors are having what? Leads or some connectivity. So first one, bead type thermistors is smallest in size. So first of all, bead type is the smallest in size. Is still smallest in size with a diameter of 0.015 mm to 1.25 mm in terms of millimeter. So bead type is sealed in the tips of solid glass rods to form probe type thermistor. As shown in the figure, that is a glass probe have diameter about 2.5 mm and the length may be from 6 mm to 50 mm. Third one is the disc type thermistor is made by pressing material under high pressure into cylindrical disc shape with a diameter from 2.5 mm to 25 mm. As per the requirement of the system under washer type, the thermistor is also available in the market as shown in the figure. So as per the requirement of the system, you can available for what? Washer types. So next, for thermistor, the relation between the resistance and temperature is given by R is equal to R0 exponentially beta into 1 by T minus 1 by T0 bracket complete. So here R is the resistance of the thermistor at T0 Kelvin. R0 is the resistance of the thermistor at T0 degree Kelvin. R0 with respect to 0, R is the normal resistance of the thermistor. Beta is the constant depending on material of the thermistor. So typical value of the beta is between 3500 to 4500 degree Kelvin. Operating range is minus 150 degree Celsius to plus 300 degree Celsius. So next we will discuss the advantages. What is the advantages of thermistor? Small size, low cost, sensitivity is very high, fast response, available in various shape and size. Applications of the thermistor: user as a sensor in liquid levels, pressure flow measurement system, used for measurement of power at high frequency. It is used for temperature control time delay circuit. It is used for temperature circuit time delay circuits. It is used for temperature control for time delay circuit. Widely used in application of the range from minus 60 degrees Celsius to plus 15 degrees Celsius. Disadvantages of the thermistor: limited process applications, not suitable for wide temperature range, relationship between resistance and temperature is non-linear, working is unstable at high temperatures. These are the advantages and disadvantages and applications of thermistors. So next class we will discuss same as electrical temperature measurement. So in that thermocouples, okay, and so in that thermocouple we will discuss the construction and working, advantages, disadvantages, and applications, and also we will discuss the pyrometers. Okay, so thank you. I hope you will enjoy the session and understand the concept of these types of, that is the temperature measurements. Okay, so thank you.